We've heard of companion dogs, but I don't know how many of you have heard of companion horses. Well, my guest, Donna A. Frost, is one of the 150 authors who are going to be a part of the Sunshine State Book Festival, and she has a fascinating story to tell us today about her journey, her introduction to this wonderful horse, Sophia. Hello, I'm Pamela D. Marshall, the author of The Art of Forgiveness, an expression of peace. But at the Wellness Network, I am so pleased to be a part of this opportunity to introduce you to the authors of the Sunshine State Book Festival, a festival that's taking place January 27th and 28th in Gainesville, Florida. It is free and open to the public, sponsored by the Writers Alliance of Gainesville, bringing readers and writers together. And the writer that we are bringing to you today, Donna A. Frost, who has written a book about a horse. You can't take the horse on a plane with you. Donna, thank you for being with us.
Pamela, thank you so much for having me and for doing this for us. It truly, it's a pleasure and an honor. Thank you.
You are so welcome. I want to jump right into this story about a horse. I don't know. I mean, I know about relationships that owners and their horses have, but I never thought about a horse being used in therapy. But that's what you guys have evolved this into.
It began as I'm a volunteer for a group called Special Equestrians Inc., Fort Myers. And we do therapeutic horseback riding for people with disabilities.
Hmm.
Our students range in age from 4 years up to people in their 80s. And a horse is when you ride a horse, it works every muscle in your body. And they are just so intuitive as far as people go. They know if you're afraid. They know if you need extra help. They can sense this. If you are within 4 feet of a horse, science has proven that your heartbeat links with the horses.
What?
And yes, and in Special Equestrians, we have the therapeutic riding program, we have a driving program, and we also have a veterans program, which deals with PTSD.
That's amazing.
It is just amazing. Sophia's someone in the beginning. I was so fortunate to be able to get Sophia through Special Equestrians. Our executive director and her assistant knew that I was looking for a horse of my own. And they had a horse that had been bought for the program. However, the program was too stressful for her, and at some time in her life, she had been abused, and she was not good for the program. But they were determined to find a good home for her, and they asked if I would be willing to meet her, if I would like to. And I said, of course. And I was going to wait till the following week. Well, that didn't work. The next day, I was over at the farm where Sophia was being kept, and I met her and I fell in love with her. And I knew that she had some issues because of being abused before, not at Special Equestrians, but it took me almost a year working with her twice a day, every day, to gain her love and her trust so that I could touch her head, her ears, her neck, because before that you couldn't. Somebody had really hurt her. And now when we have people come to the farm where Sophia lives, she loves little children. She'll let anybody touch her head and her ears. It's just, and we joke around that she's my 1,000-pound dog because she follows me wherever I go.
Really?
She does. We also have another book coming up, Sofia's Special School Adventure.
So
And
hold on, let's just for a second. So which came first, or how did the book evolve from the relationship with Sophia?
so what happened is that one night I couldn't sleep, and I just sat down at the computer and I started to play computer games, and I ended up pulling up a blank sheet in Word, and the words just started and kept coming. And that's how Sophia Someone, the beginning, started.
Hmm.
From there, we have an accountant that when we went to him to have our taxes done, I was asking him questions about how writing books affects your taxes and stuff like that. And he said to me, "Do you have a publisher?" And I said, "No, I don't." And he said, "Wait a minute." He said, "My assistant's husband is a publisher."
What?
Yes.
Wow.
And he put me in touch with him. From there, I have an amazing friend, and that is my editor, as well as now my illustrator. And I also, because of my publisher, now have my website designer.
So
And
what did you do before, Donna?
I was an executive assistant for many years,
Okay.
and
So
also I did human resources
okay.
for
So
different companies,
so
and
what
never had any writing experience as far as children's books go. Um, at one time in my life when my children were little, I had thought about it, but when your children are young and you're working and there's so much going on,
mhm.
and I never got around to it. But
Mhm.
I knew that this story had to be told, and it's my heart, it's my passion, because if it weren't for special equestrians, I would not have my Sophia. And I've learned so much about people with disabilities, but also how horses help people. And she truly, anytime that I'm down, anytime that just I feel like, I just need to be with her, she's right there. If I say to her, "Sophia, hugs," she will put her head over my shoulder or around me and give me hugs. If I say to her, "Sophia, kisses," she will lick my hand. And
Mm.
she's amazing.
Wow, wow. If you are watching on Facebook, please like and share, or YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. And over on LinkedIn, if you're watching on LinkedIn, thank you wherever you're watching from. We really, really appreciate it. Loretta McNary, who is a media mogul who has McNary Media, said equestrian therapy is extraordinary. Horses are more amazing than people give them credit. I know, Donna Frost, you agree with that.
Oh, I most definitely do. They give you such a feeling of, first of all, accomplishment, because when you're working with an animal twice a day, every day, for almost a year, and when you see that that horse is responding to you, and you see that they're starting to love you and trust you, it's such an amazing, what an amazing feeling. It's indescribable. It really is.
Yeah. So Howard, to the book. So this is the first book. You're going to write another one. Is there a part in that that you can share with us? Can you read a bit from that
There
from the book?
is. There is. So this is, can you see this okay?
Yeah, we
This
can see
is
it.
what we actually do
Uh-huh.
at special equestrians.
Mhm.
And the horses carry their students in their saddles. The students put from the back of the horse, they drop bean bags into buckets and they
Mhm.
drop rings onto cones. And this is physical therapy. And they're switching hands. So they're reaching, they are using all types of muscles. And also, it's not easy to drop a beanbag into a bucket from the top of a horse or a ring onto a cone from the top of the horse.
Yeah.
It
So,
really, it sounds easier than it is. And our students are so amazing. They really and truly are. They love it.
is there an age limit on what children can be a part of equestrian therapy?
Pardon me?
What are the ages of the children who participate in equestrian therapy? Now, I know you say these horses are also used for adults, for veterans, but what's the youngest?
Our students for the riding program are anywhere from 4 years up to people in their 80s. And this this can be used for any type of disability. It can be used for, and I'll just name a few. You can use it for, it's used for autism. It's used for in adults for MS, for
Hmm.
people that have had strokes. It is used for cerebral palsy. It is used for people that have Down syndrome. Any type.
So, what are the results, though? What kind of results are you seeing as a result of equestrian therapy when you're listing these things? MS, cerebral palsy. Um, what kind of results can people expect to get?
Our slogan is making miracles happen. And we had a student that came to us that was nonverbal. And within 3 weeks, that same student was saying 5 words
Wow.
because they had to talk to their horse. They had to
Mm.
tell their horse, walk on. They had to tell their horse, whoa. And at the end of each riding session, the students dismount and they thank their horse leader, their sidewalkers, and they hug their horse and say thank you.
Mm.
So it's very, there's a lot, when you see the smiles of the students, it's amazing. And everybody truly has their own miracle that they feel has happened for them. I know I have mine as well. And it was amazing. I worked with a student that was blind and deaf, and we didn't know the extent of the hearing or sight, and found out that there was slight hearing on the left side. So I was able to sidewalk with them so that they were able to hear me when we were working during their riding session. And then through dropping the bean bags into the buckets and dropping the rings on the cones, we were able to find out that student could see from the top of a horse's back to the down to the ground where they dropped the bean bags into the bucket. That's it. It's amazing. And there are so many other instances that I have only been a volunteer for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
This is my 5th year. There are so many people that have been there for 20, 30 since the program began. And it's just the camaraderie, it's mostly run by volunteers. We have, I believe it's 4 instructors that are certified by PATH International.
Yeah.
And our executive director is a volunteer. She works umpteen hours a week. Her assistant, and everybody knows everybody.
So tell me this, what is it that...
This is in Fort Myers.
Okay.
And it's on Staley Road. It is an amazing program. We are getting ready to have our biggest fundraiser of the year, which we call Taste of Love.
Mm-hmm.
And we raise money to support the program, to support the horses, to also so that we can have scholarships if a student needs a scholarship.
To be able to come and utilize the services.
Right.
So these horses, how do you get the horses that are used to participate in equestrian therapy?
The horses are vetted through our instructors and a couple of different trainers. And they are the ones that make the decision whether they feel the horses are safe for the students. Then what we do is bring them on property, and they have a learning period. And before a student even gets on their back, they work with a horse leader, sidewalkers, and one of the instructors or one of the trainers on their back.
So to your book, what is the story?
Of
our story, Sophia's beginning?
Sophia's the beginning.
The beginning. So what is the story about?
And so what the story is about is that Sophia didn't work out for the special equestrian program. But because she didn't, I was able to get her. And that was our beginning. My beginning was being a volunteer at Special Equestrians. Her beginning was the two of us meeting and falling in love with each other.
Oh.
And
so after you've worked with her, she's now able to participate?
She is not in Special Equestrians anymore.
Okay.
She is my personal horse.
Okay.
But as I said, she loves children. We have a cousin that is 3 years old and he loves her to death. He will
Wow.
walk up to her. She puts her head down and they'll cuddle. And it's just from where she was that you could not touch her head or her ears or her neck and her being afraid to where she is now. This is our story. And it's it's about time, love, patience. That here we have a horse that was hurt, that was abused, that was bullied, but she actually has learned to love again and to trust.
And what have you learned from Sofia?
I have learned so much from Sofia. I have learned that she's my heart, that the time, the patience, she gives me every bit of love that I give her.
Mhm.
And it's just amazing that the time that I spent every single minute of the almost 1 year and working with her twice a day, it was so worth it. Now, when she sees me drive up to the farm, she comes running. When she hears my voice, she comes running to me. And I had someone tell me one time, and this was a trainer, that said, if your horse, when you call your horse, if they come walking towards you, then you know that they like you. But if they come running to you, you know that they really like you.
So, what does Sofia do?
Sofia runs to me
Oh,
and she will put her head over my shoulder. And like I said, if I say Sofia hugs, she will put her head over my shoulder and give me hugs. If I say Sofia kisses, and her favorite treat is peppermints.
oh, really? That's interesting.
And she loves her peppermints.
Sofia wants
So
good breath.
so
She,
every
she
time
doesn't want horse breath.
every time she's a good girl, she gets a peppermint.
Oh, wow. So, this book that you've written, and then in the process of writing another one, what are the messages from these stories with horses and equestrian therapy that you want the world to know about?
My message is this, that whether you are a person, whether you're a horse, if you've been mistreated, there are so many people out there that will love you, that will not mistreat you, that with time and patience and love, more than anything with love, you can overcome those obstacles. You truly can. And that's what Sofia's Someone in the Beginning is about.
What does it mean for you? Donna is going to be one of the 150 authors that are going to be part of the Sunshine State Book Festival. This is your first book. Is this your first outing with the public?
This is not my first outing with the public. I have done book readings and signings, and when I read to children, I absolutely love it. It is so much fun. And it depends on the ages of the children.
Mm.
If I have real little children, sometimes what I've done is I let them tell me the story. And they don't have to know the words, but they can see the pictures
Yeah, yeah.
and they can see what's happening. And I'll ask them, well, what do you think this horse said to that horse? What do you think they said? And do you think it was a nice thing?
Mm,
And when we get to the older ages, sometimes I've asked them, would you like to read to me?
mm.
And most times it's been no, but then too, I don't always go exactly by the words because I'll see, first of all, what are they thinking? What is their
Mhm.
thought process? What exactly are they getting from this book? And then afterwards we talk about it. And how do you think Sophia feels? Somebody made fun of her. How would you feel if somebody made fun of you? And how do you think that you would handle it?
Yeah.
This is so many, it's just so many takeaways. I've had different teachers that have looked at Sophia's Sum in the beginning and said to me that there are so many takeaways from this book. And it that's all I want. I just want people to love it, to realize that horses may be big, but they are such gentle animals and they love.
And that connection between the hearts of the human and the
Hmm.
heart of a horse, that
Right?
connection that you talked about,
It is. It
amazing.
is. I never knew that. It's something I recently found out, but it makes so much sense. And it's funny because when I go to see Sophia, she knows how I'm feeling. If I'm having a down day, she knows and
Hmm.
she'll come over and she'll give me a hug. If I'm having a good day and we want to play, she'll trot around with me and different things like that. It's amazing how they sense what you're feeling, and they just, I can't say enough good things about them. We
Well, that,
at Special Equestrians, we have one of our instructors has a mini,
mhm.
and his name is Guinness. And we do a program that we call outreach, where we take a horse and a pony, or a pony and a mini to schools for children's with disabilities.
Mm.
And Guinness has actually gone into the classroom
Oh, wow, that's got to
with
be
the
exciting for those
students,
kids.
and they read a book while Guinness was standing in the classroom.
Oh,
And the
goodness,
children loved it.
that's so cute. That's so
It
cute.
it's just the so many of these students that we interact with have never had the opportunity to be close to a real horse or a pony or a mini, and for them to see it up close and experience how soft they are, how gentle, it's just, the look on their face is amazing, and it just is such a great feeling.
And while they may not consciously know what's going on, the body does. And that's
Yes.
what's important.
Mm-hmm.
Donna Frost, thank you so much for bringing us the story of Sophia. Thank you for sharing with the readers this very special relationship that you established with your Sophia and the work that you all are doing with equestrian therapy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Can now, is it common or is it rare to find a place where there is equestrian therapy?
There are different ones throughout the country.
Okay.
And if you look it up online, you can find out where different ones are.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, we will have the opportunity to see Donna and her other 149 author friends come the 27th and 28th of January at the Sunshine State Book Festival in Gainesville, Florida. Donna, I look forward to meeting you there.
Look forward to meeting you too, Pamela. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. And I will be there with my book, The Art of Forgiveness. So if you're in the area or you want to make a special trip to Gainesville, come on. We'd love to see you.
Thank
Tonight,
you.
you're welcome. We thank you all for watching, whether you're watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. We really appreciate your support. We thank you, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Meanwhile, I'm Pamela Marshall at the Wellness Radio TV and at the Wellness Radio TV podcast. Remember, there is healing at the well. Make it a fantastic moment, and we'll see you next time.